Hello everyone, welcome to part 69 of my story. So before I go into this next story, I would like to thank you all for being patient. I know it's been a couple of days since I recorded, but of course I've been busy doing interviews and lives and podcasts. On March 13th of 2020, our then President Donald Trump signs a national emergency. By March 27th of 2020, Trump then signs CARES Act into law. By April 3rd, using the authority granted, our then Attorney General Barr expands home confinement. So at this time, there were certain criteria that you needed to meet to be able to qualify to leave prison amid the pandemic and go home. So the criteria were basically medically vulnerable, meaning that you had some type of risk factor that would make you more susceptible to contracting the coronavirus or COVID and getting ill and more likely to die. You had to have a non-violent offense, as well as it could not have been a sexual crime or a terrorism crime. No violence or gang involvement. No disciplinary actions within 12 months while you had been incarcerated in the Bureau of Prisons. And you had to be at a low or minimum security level placement to qualify for the then CARES Act. So all this stuff has passed by the time Andrea Circlebear is booked into a federal medical facility, FMC Carswell, in her third trimester of pregnancy. Remember, we were talking to one of our case managers, and we had then found out, soon as CARES Act was signed, that two of Trump's corporate American gangsters who were incarcerated had been released from prison immediately once Trump signed this CARES Act. And one of them had a very lengthy sentence, didn't qualify, didn't meet the criteria. His name was Paul Manafort and Michael Cohen. Both of them released from the pandemic immediately once Trump signs this bill into law. So at this time, after Trump passes CARES Act, there are women who are susceptible and very considered to be vulnerable to COVID dying at FMC Carswell, while Trump gets his cronies out of prison who are not susceptible to COVID, who have not served 50% of their sentence, who do not qualify under CARES Act to even be released from prison. Sandra Kincaid was a mother and a grandmother. She was 69 years old at this time. She was accused of running some kind of a pill mill in Tennessee. She took this to trial, and she automatically received a nearly 40-year prison sentence. To me, her 40-year prison sentence was already a death sentence. Somebody of her age surviving prison and coming out on the other side at that time is less likely than anything. However, this woman contracts COVID while she's at FMC Carswell. She's susceptible. She has the health conditions. She's went to court a couple of weeks before. She's asking the judge to grant her compassionate release, and she's also stating her medical and health factors. The judge denies this. So she's stuck in FMC Carswell. Well, she's left in FMC Carswell while all Trump's friends are being released from prison. And I remember we were very upset when we were hearing, oh, Paul Manafort is being released. Oh, Cohen is being released. And we're like, how are they getting released? And they just barely got to prison. They don't even qualify under the criteria. We're with our case managers asking them to pull up how much time they've done. And so we're in disbelief because at this time, we're taking this pandemic seriously. We have been on a modified operations, complete, mostly lockdown, other than phone use and email, for over a month and a half at this point. While all this stuff is going on, the things that happen on the outside of the world continue to affect us as well. So our camp counselor calls us in, and she's basically telling us, make your phone calls, use the emails, because y'all are being locked down. The Federal Bureau of Prisons has issued a new memorandum, and they're basically saying that every single facility throughout the BOP, all 122 facilities, are going on a lockdown on top of a lockdown. So I remember scrambling to get to the phones with the other sanitation workers, using the emails, telling our family, hey, we're going on a lockdown. Y'all probably not going to hear from us for a while. We don't know how long this is going to last. So just write me. Please just write me. Well, during the COVID pandemic, being honest with you, getting mail was scarce. Sometimes you didn't receive mail. I remember getting mail that was a month and a half old. Like, we were not receiving mail every single day, and nobody was picking up or taking our mail out every single day. At one point, we would go around the compound and take everybody's mail over to the mailbox and put it in. But then someone came from across the street telling us that we were not authorized to do that and that we should not do that again. Right after that happened, the officer got mad and told us that he runs the compound and whatever he tells us to do, that's what we're to do. So it was a lot of confusion and chaos going on while this whole pandemic was transpiring. So on June 2nd of 2020, they issued this lockdown. We didn't know how long this lockdown was going to last. I remember after we were put up in our rooms, they had a town hall meeting where they asked us to step outside our doors and basically told us, hey, y'all on lockdown. Don't open your door. Don't raise the windows again. Stay in your rooms. And we will be coming around to get all your communication devices. So the only thing that we had that was a communication device was a TV. They had come around to every single room. Some kind of way FMC cards were found in their budget to get TVs for every single room since we were on lockdown. And we appreciated that a lot because it gave us access to the news and stuff. Although I wasn't locked down in my room all day, I was happy that my roommates was able to have something to occupy their time. So they come and they take our TVs, our DVD players, our antennas, everything that we had from us. And it's zero movement at this point. There will be no movement until the BOP authorizes movement again, which means that me, just like everybody